Hey guys, so we're going to do a quick Chapter 6 review on converting customary and metric units. So if you want to take a look at this before we move on, you can take a picture or just put a pause on the video and see if you can do these problems on your own. And move it up a little bit again so you guys can see the rest of it here. We've got two more on the back part of this paper, actually on the second sheet as well. If you want to try this on your own, let me show you the other one real quick before we get started. And here's two word problems here. Sorry, I wrote it kind of in haste, so hopefully you can read my my handwriting there. All right, so let's go and get started. Number one, a construction crew needs to remove 2.5 tons of river rock during the construction of new office buildings. Now, the weight of the rock is blank pounds, so you want to convert tons to pounds. So you want to start with your conversion chart. So in your conversion chart, if you take a look at the weight is 1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. So you want to write that down as a fraction or as a ratio. So 1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. And so this is your conversion factor. We're going to set that equal to what we know versus what we don't know. Well, we know that there's 2.5 tons of river rock. We just don't know how many pounds that's going to translate to. Right? So we don't know what this is. So you might ask yourself, well, I don't know what to do now. I've set this up. What's my next step? Well, you always want to take a look and see the two things that you know. You know that 1 ton is 2,000 pounds and that you have 2.5 tons of it. So how many times can 1 go into 2.5? What would I have to multiply 1 times to get to 2.5? Well, we know that 1 times any number is that number. So if we multiply 1 times 2.5, we will get 2.5. So whatever I multiply the top by, we have to multiply the bottom by the same exact number. So I'm going to multiply the bottom as well by 2.5 to get our answer of how many pounds that is. And then we multiply that. Zero, 0, 0, 10. Add a 0. 3 zeros. And then 4. Add it up together. We moved 1 decimal to the left here, none here. 0 plus 1 is 1, so we move it 1 place to the left. We've got 5,000 pounds. So 2.5 tons of rock, river rock, is 5,000 pounds. Okay, number 2. 10 yards equals blank feet, 10 yards equals blank inches. So we need to find the conversion rate, or the factor, of feet and yards. So we know that feet, there's 3 feet to 1 yard. And then we know that inches is 1 yard equals 36 inches. So you need both of them to solve both of those questions in that one problem. So 1 yard is equal to 3 feet, and 1 yard is equal to 36 inches. So we're going to set that equal to what we know versus what we don't know. We know that it's 10 yards. We're going to put 10 yards on top because yards is on top over here. Same thing here. We just don't know how many feet that is, and we don't know how many inches that is. So we start with what we know. We know that 1 yard can go to 10 yards 10 times. If I multiply this by 10, I multiply the bottom by 10 as well. So 3 times 10 is 30. So that's going to be 30 feet. Same thing here. 1 can go to 10 yards 10 times. Multiply the bottom by 10. 36 times 10 is going to be 360. So that's going to be 360 inches. All right, number 3. Now, when it comes to comparing different units, it's very difficult to do that unless you know what the units are in terms of Like, for example, if I converted kilometers to meters, or if I converted meters to kilometers, then I can compare them. So you want to find out which one you want to convert over. Do you want to convert kilometers over to meters or meters over to kilometers? It doesn't matter which one you pick. You can only do one. If you change them both, then you change this to kilometers, you change this to meters, and you might be in the same position you were before. So you want to convert just one of them. And it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. If I typically convert the first one I see. So 5 kilometers, I'm going to set that equal to meters. Try to figure out how many meters that is and see if these two are equal to each other or not. So I use my conversion chart. Metric one down here. So I'm going to go from kilometers to meters. So kilometers is where I start. Meters is where I go. So I start here, so I go to the right. 1, 2, 3. So I'm basically multiplying by 10 3 times. So it's basically 1,000. Okay, or just simply move your decimal to the right 3 times. So we're going to move our decimal to the right 3 times. The decimal is right here right now. So if we move that to the right 3 times, 1, 2, 3. Then we put our zeros in place, and that's basically 5,000. So 5 kilometers is 5,000 meters. So if this is 5,000 meters, that means they're both equal to each other. And then for B, we're going to do the same thing. So for basically B and C, we're going to use the metric chart again. So I'm going to go from centiliters to liters. So if we go from centiliters is right here, liters is right here. So we're going to go to the left, 1, 2 times. So we're going to move our decimal to the left 2 times, or divide by 100. So if the decimal is right here, and we move it 2 places to the left, we end up at 2.54. So this is 2.54 liters. That's what this equals to. And if you compare the two here, well, we can see that 2.54 liters is less than 25.4 liters. Okay. C, we're going to go from kilograms to grams. So we're going to convert this to grams. So kilograms, so we got kilograms right here. We want to go to grams, G. I guess I should have put that down. G for grams, liter, and then meters. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go from kilograms to grams. So that means we're going to go to the right. 1, 2, 3. So we're moving our decimal to the right 3 times. So we're going to go right here to 6 kilograms. The decimal's right here to begin with. We're going to move that to the right 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to put our zeros in place. So it's going to be 6,000 grams. So this is actually 6,000 grams. So is 6,000 grams less than, greater than, or equal to 600 grams? Well, it's going to be greater. So we're going to use the greater than symbol. Okay, we keep going. D, feet to yards. So this is customary. So we're going to find feet. We're going to find yards. We've got 3 feet to 1 yard. So we can either convert this to yards, or we can convert this to feet. And it doesn't matter. I'm going to actually convert this to feet because it's actually a little bit easier. So if there's 3 feet in 1 yard, and I've got 15 yards of it, well, that means that goes in 15 times. That means I've got to multiply the top by 15 as well. And I get 45 feet. So this is actually 45 feet is what that's equal to. Now when we compare 43 with 45, we can see that 43 is going to be less than 45. Now if I had started here, if I said, well, I'm going to convert this to yards, I would do the same thing. I would go, okay, 3 feet is 1 yard. I set that equal to 43 feet. And I'm trying to figure out how many yards that is. Well, the problem with this is 3 can't go into 43 evenly. Right? So 3 can go into 43. Let's see. What, 12, 13, let's see, 1, 4, yeah, 4. 12, 1 left over. So 14 yards and 1 foot left over. So if you use that, we said this was 14 yards and 1 foot. Well, 14 yards and 1 foot is going to be less than 15 yards. So you need 2 more feet for it to be equal to each other. Okay. All right. E, 5 tons, 5,000 pounds. So same thing, go back to your customary chart. Look at tons and pounds. 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. So you set your conversion factor. 1 ton, 2,000 pounds. And I want to find out what 5 tons is. Right? Goes in 5 times. 2,000 times 5 is 10,000. So this is actually 10,000 pounds. That's what that is. So the question is 10,000 pounds less than, greater than, or equal to 5,000 pounds? Well, it's going to be greater than. Okay, pints to quarts. We're going to look at pints and quarts. Pints and quarts. So there's 2 pints to 1 quart. So 2 pints, 1 quart. Okay, that's our conversion factor. We're going to set that to equal to what we know, which is 10 pints. 10 pints is going to go on top because this is on top. And we want to find out how many quarts that is. So 2 can go to 10 5 times. That means I multiplied the 1 times the 5. That's 5 quarts. So this is actually 5 quarts right here. Now if we compare 10 pints to 5 quarts over here, well, it's equal. They're both the same thing. Okay, moving on to G. 6 miles compared to 600 yards. Which one's bigger? Well, let's convert this to yardage. So if we look back at our conversion chart, we know that 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. But we don't need that one. We need this one. We need 1 mile equals 1,760 yards. So 1 mile, 1,760 yards. And if we convert that over to 6 miles, that means we're going to multiply by 6 to get there. That means we're going to multiply this by 6 to get there. But before you even do that, you can look, well, this is going to be a pretty big number. It's going to be like, this is close to 2,000 yards. 2,000 times 6 is like 12,000 yards. So we know that our answer is going to be a little bit less than 12,000 yards. Okay? Well, whatever the answer is going to be, we know that automatically it's going to be much, much larger than 600 yards. So you can figure it out, try to find out exactly what it is, or you don't have to. It's going to be greater than. If 1 mile is greater than 600 yards, then 6 is going to be much larger than that. But if you wanted to know, we just multiply it. And we get 10,560 yards. So I was a little high, 12,000 a little bit high, but it gives you an idea about where we're at. And then last but not least, 36 inches to 3 feet. Is it less than, greater than, or equal to? We know that 1 yard is 3 feet. So if the wrong one. 1 yard equals 36 inches. Well, if 1 yard equals 36 inches, oh wait, I'm using the wrong thing. I apologize. I haven't used feet and inches yet. Okay, 1 foot equals 12 inches. So if 1 foot equals 12 inches, we set that equal to what we know versus what we don't know. So if I use this one, for example, so 12 inches can go to 36 inches 3 times. Multiply the top by 3, I get 3 feet. So it's equal. All right, closing up our last 2 problems. Number 4, a recipe calls for 16 fluid ounces of light whipping cream. If Anthony has 1 pint of whipping cream in his fridge, does he have enough for the recipe? So you want to take fluid ounces, you want to convert fluid ounces, and you want to set that equal to, you want to find out what would it be equal in terms of pints, right? What would that be in pints? Okay, we don't know. And here's the issue though, in the issue of our customary units for capacity, we have fluid ounces here equals 1 cup, but we don't have fluid ounces equals a pint. All we have is that 8 fluid ounces equal 1 cup, and that 2 cups equal 1 pint. So if we can find out how many cups that is, we can try to figure out that the number of cups that they give us is going to equal to 1 pint. So we're going to take 16 fluid ounces. We're going to set that equal to 8 fluid ounces over 1 cup, because we knew that 1 cup was 8 fluid ounces. So since I don't know what this is, I'm just going to put a question mark. So the question is, how many times can 8 go into 16? And I know I'm going kind of backwards here, but the same concept applies. If this was over here, it'd be the same thing. So 8 goes into 16 2 times, right? So if I multiply the top by 2, I'm going to multiply the bottom by 2 as well. So 1 times 2 is 2. 2 cups. So 16 fluid ounces is 2 cups. Well, if that's 2 cups, well, how many pints does that equal to? Well, we already know that answer. It's right here. 2 cups equals 1 pint. So we have, or I should say Anthony has, enough. He has exactly the right amount. And then number 5, the distance from Caleb's house to school is 1.5 miles. And the distance from Ashley's house to school is 3,520 feet. So you want to find out which one's smaller, because it says who lives closer. So we don't want to know which one's bigger, we want to know which one's smaller. So we can convert either one of these to feet. I'm going to convert this to feet. So I'm going to set 1 mile, based on a conversion chart, says 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. Well, since we know that, and we know that we're looking at 1.5 miles, we know that the number of feet is going to be much bigger than 5,280. And 5,280 is already larger than 3,520 feet. We could have said that Caleb, if he was 1 mile away from school, he would still live further away than Ashley does. And so then you can say by default, before even doing this problem, you can go, well, Ashley lives closer. Okay? But if that's not apparent enough, let's find out. How many times can 1 go into 1.5? Well, 1.5 times. That means you're going to multiply the top by 1.5 to get to that number. Well, if I multiply the top by 1.5, I'm going to multiply the bottom by 1.5 as well. And when I do that, I get a big number. And that would be, let's see, 0, 0, 4, 10, 14, 25, 26, 0, 0, 8, 2, 5, 0, 0, 2, 1, 9, 7, 3 places here, 1 place, so that's 4 places total. That's going to go about right. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not a decimal. That was an apostrophe, my bad. So 1 decimal, 1 decimal. All right. So it's 7,920. Sorry, you couldn't see that. 7,920 feet. So wow. So he lives almost. Well, no, he lives twice the distance than Ashley, because that's more than 2 times that distance. All right. Well, anyways, that's all I've got for now. Hopefully this serves as a good review for Chapter 6. I'll see you guys in the next video. God bless. Bye-bye.